today I wanted to talk about foundation and how difficult it is to find the right color, what you can do to find the right color, and then how you can get it to apply the best so that it matches your skin the best. So, if you're like me, your foundation collection probably looks something like this. It's a mix of high end, low end, all different shades of the rainbow because you can't ever find the right shade for your skin. And you think you find it, and then you look at a picture of yourself and you're like, I look like a ghost. That's not my color. So then you go back and you're like, that's it. This time I'm going to spend twice as much. I'm going to go get professionally color matched. And then you think you like it and you get home and then it doesn't look right again. So I'm like, oh, this one's really good if I'm tan. This one's really good if I'm pale. But what do I use now? And then you run out of the good stuff, but you don't have time to go into the mall to get the professional high end stuff. So you end up buying something from the drugstore, which you can't sample. But I found something that I think is kind of interesting. Sephora has a color IQ technology thing where you go in there and they will swipe your face with this machine and it's kind of like when you have a sick kid at a thermometer where they like swipe your forehead. They swipe your forehead, your cheeks, your chin. I think they do like your neck and then even your chest if you want them to. And then it like this machine like averages your foundation color and it comes up with some code as to what your colors are and then it tells you what brands they sell in store or online or wherever you want to go carry a shade that matches your skin and what the name of it is and then you narrow it down from the list they give you. Mine had like 25 on it that of brands that sold my color skin foundation. You decide, how much do you want to spend? Do you want to buy it here? Do you want to buy it online? um, this one might be a little light for you, this one might be a little dark for you, but it'd be perfect if you wanted to wear bronzer or if you needed to wear a lighter powder over it. This one's a little pricey, this one's not, and then they also tell you which ones they have in stock at the moment, which ones you can walk out with today. So I thought that was really cool, and I want to share that with you. So for me, we found out it was actually a Sephora brand. Now, I don't know if that was intentional because, of course they're told to sell their own products, but for me, this one was about $20. It's the Sephora 10-Hour Wear Perfection Foundation. And I'm not sure if 10-hour wear is even right because I think I leave probably, I get a good 12 hours out of it. So if you're concerned about that. But now I'm going to show you what I do underneath my foundation in order to get it to be like a good coverage. So first I use a primer. And I've been into the illuminating stuff lately. So this is L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Powder Primer. And it's not expensive. I think it's maybe $10, probably less. I just put a little bit on just a regular old sponge. Um, it's one pump, whatever that equates to. And then I just put it on. I put it on mostly where I want the illumination. So like right under the eyes and like the tops of the cheekbones and stuff. Um, just where you might actually normally illuminate, I guess. And then some people argue that you're supposed to put foundation or concealer on now and then the foundation. I think that if I put concealer on now and then put foundation on top, I actually end up with like wiping my concealer that I just spent time on. I wipe it away because I sit here and I go with my foundation and then it's gone. So I do my foundation first, then I go back with the concealer. And I kind of wanted to talk about contouring a little bit, but I think I'm gonna have to do that in a separate video because that's a whole another thing. But you can apply your foundation. I like liquid foundation, but they're all different types of skin. Liquid works good for me because I have dry skin. But if you don't, maybe you want to use a powder or a cream to powder. They have all kinds of different formulas now. You can use a regular old foundation brush like this. Um, you can use a regular old sponge, which to me is the most cost effective because I don't like to wash brushes that much, so I can just throw these out every few days. So I'm just going to start in the center. You want to start wherever you want the thickest application. So I start in the center and then I blend out. And this is why I don't like to use a concealer first, is because you can sit there and dab like this, but I don't feel like it spreads it out as much. as I like. So I end up actually taking more product and more product and more product. So I think if I just go ahead and put a good amount on the sponge, then I can start from the center and blend out. So the way you know your foundation is a good match for you is if you have a really harsh line at the bottom, or not. Now it might appear that this is a little white or perhaps a little yellow for my skin, but you'll notice the chin area, I'll put powder on that, but the chin area is actually no line to my neck. That's a shadow, I swear. But the next thing I do is then concealer. So if you notice, I have some redness on my chin, breakouts, which we all get from time to time, right? I've been using Maybelline for a while, and I'm a MAC lover, but I can't afford everything MAC all the time. So when I run out of my MAC stuff, I end up buying something at the drugstore. But this is Maybelline New York Dream Wonder Powder. It says it's new, but I don't think it is. It comes with a powder applicator, like a sponge thing. I don't know. I don't like that. So I use a big fluffy brush because I like it to kind of be more translucent. This is not a translucent powder, so that's why I choose to use a big brush because it will add some color to your face. I don't like to get up very early in the morning, so this is kind of the extent of my powder applying capabilities there. But you can do your concealer before or after that step. I tend to do it twice because right then I was trying to get rid of the redness, and now I'm going to. So this is L'Oreal Magic Lumi. It's the same line as the primer. This is the concealer corrector, and it's got a little bit of a tint to it, actually, a little bit of an illuminator. So I do it under the eyes because I find that is like really flattering. And then I don't like the little paintbrush it comes with. I tend to just use that to get the product out. But more with concealer, I tend to just blot it because I don't want to rub away any of the things I applied underneath it. And then if you find that your concealer is not a good color, like some people use, green concealer, or they'll use a blue-based concealer to cancel out different colors. Green cancels out red. If you have pink undertones, there's different kinds of concealers. So obviously in that case, you would put your concealer underneath your foundation. But if not, then you would put your concealer on top. That's a personal choice. I couldn't tell you. But the next thing I do in order to get a good contouring is I use a bronzer, which is going to give me cheekbones. If you notice, I don't really have any. There's nothing. So this is CoverGirl Clean Glow Blusher, and this is the palette Peaches, and it's got 3 peachy shades on it. So the bottom one's more of a bronzy tone, then there's like a peachy and then a whitish, like a highlight shade. So I'm going to use just a standard old blush brush. It's a little bit angled, but doesn't have to be. And I'm just going to get some from the bronzy side. Now this one does not have a sheen to it, which is one of the reasons I like it. If you have acne-prone skin, you probably don't want to attract any more attention in the light. It will be noticeable in the light. You'll see bumpiness and they'll be shiny. So it's like, look at me. I don't want to attract any attention. I do want my cheeks to look defined. I do want to look like, I think it makes you look thinner when you have nice cheeks. So anyway, I have some bronzer on the brush and I'm going to start. You want to start where you want the most covered color because that's where the brush is going to have the most on it. And from there, it's going to get less and less. So you want to start wherever you want it to start. I start at my cheekbone. And a lot of times you can go from your sideburn area to your cheek. But by the time you get all the way to your lips, there's hardly anything on the brush anyway. But do you see the difference? Look, nothing. Bronzer. Let's see if I'll darken that up for you. But, and I just sweep back and forth. So bronzer, nothing, bronzer. See the difference? My face looks thinner on one side. So definitely going to even that out. But the next step would be a blush. Now I change the blush shade that I wear based on what I'm wearing for the day. So like sometimes I will be wearing more of a pinker, peachy palette or a purple, so I'll go with a more rose toned um, blush, but um, sometimes I don't, it doesn't matter either way, so I'll go ahead and just wear whatever I feel like wearing that day, whatever I haven't worn in a while, or whatever's easiest, fastest, it's most convenient, it's most accessible, that's the one I'll choose. But anyway, another thing you can do with your bronzer is if you take it up the sides of your temples and towards the top of your forehead, like a C shape, like this, um, it gives you more of a bronzed look. Let me see. It's actually harder than it looks backwards watching the camera, guys. I know, it's crazy. But, okay, so for blush, I just got the MAC palette. I chose 6 blushes that I wanted. So this thing's magnetic, and these are just regular old MAC blushes, but they have magnets on the back. So I'm going to have a separate video about the MAC blushes because they're kind of my favorite thing right now. But I think for right now, I'm going to do just a medium colored pink. This one's actually peachy. It's called Melba. Melba. Doesn't look that peachy in this lighting, but it is. So I'm going to take that same brush that I just did the bronzer with, and I'm going to just, I kind of gather it. I get the brush and then I squeeze it, just so I can get a lot on the brush. What I see is if I put on too much blush, I can always add more shadow, but I'm going to put, powder. I'm going to put powder on top anyway to set all of my makeup and maybe use a priming spray. So to me, you know, I like to do things fast. I don't want to sit here all day and try to keep applying blush, building it up, building up, building up. I find that MAC's builds up a lot. So start where you want the most color. For me, be right there and sweep back and forth. Might have been cool just to see the if I had only done one side of my face, but it's not too easy to see. Maybe if I change the direction a little bit. Let's do it again. Okay, so once you get the blush to the color you want it, and you can just keep building it up, then you're going to go into your highlight shades. And there are a lot of different ways to highlight. I've seen tons of YouTube videos with different highlighting techniques, but I highlight the top of my cheekbone. So I'm going to be using NARS. This is a blush duo, Hungry Heart. And for this, you can either use your same blush brush or a different highlighting brush. I don't use my blush brush because, like I said, I try not to use shimmery blushes as much because I have acne-prone skin. So if I put this same brush into a shimmery highlight color, and then tomorrow I go to use this brush to do my blush, if I don't clean it, I definitely will have shimmer on my cheeks. So the reason I don't mind having shimmer on the top of my cheekbones is if you notice I never have acne there. There's no problem. But I wouldn't want to attract any attention in somewhere that I do have it. So this is a really fluffy highlighting brush. I'm going to do a review on brushes because I think that's really important to having good coverage, good application, and good blending. But you don't have to spend a lot. Each individual MAC brush can be like $8 to like $40. I spent like $30 for the entire set. So anyway, this is a two-tone color. One of them is more peach, and one of them is white. It's hard to see in this lighting, I know. But I'm going to take the peachier tone, and I'm just going to get a little bit on the brush. See it. And then I'm just going to go on the top of my cheekbone and up a little bit to the temple. And I think that gives you a really nice subtle highlight. There are a lot of people that wear like 3 different shades of powder in order to get the contouring they want. I'll do an entire video on contouring if you guys want me to, but I don't think it's necessary for every skin type. Depends on what kind of a finish you're looking for. But just wanted to give out a couple more options of products you could use. For a bronzer, I do like the Bare Minerals. This is Warmth. It's a color that comes in the starter kit. It's a really nice, like, bronzy color with no shimmer. See if I can get it up there. Anyway, but a little bit goes a long way with bronzer, so you have to be careful. Also, I do like MAC foundations, but I find that I need to go back a second or third time when I go to the store to get color matched. I'll go one day and I'll think it's good, and I get it home and I hate it. So I go more than once, twice, three times, and I have a different sales rep, different associate at MAC match me, and if they agree, or like if 3 out of the 4 agree, then I know I'm getting the right shade, because sometimes they'll pick up on I'm wearing blue, therefore the undertones, oh, you are cool skin, or maybe I'm warm skin that day. I don't know. Um, and then some of them think I have brown eyes, but I'm pretty sure there's enough gold and green in there anyway. So that's it for now on the beginnings of the makeup. This is how I get my makeup to stay on smooth all day. And my foundation says 10 hours, but the primer helps you powder it to set it, which you can do at any point, even in between. If you want to smooth out your blush lines, you can use a lighter powder right under the eyes to kind of contour that. But um, if you wanted to get this down really fast, you could go primer, foundation, dot the concealer on with your finger, and go bronzer, blush, highlight. Done. That whole process takes me 1 to 2 minutes. I know this has been like a 15-minute video, but that is about as quick as I can do it. If you like to play with different brands and colors, let me know. I'd be happy to test out some new brands. I'm always game. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be back later with more videos. See you. Bye.